Hello and welcome to Just the Way It Is. My name is Carl, this is episode 8 and this is a really short one. This is just to tell you a little bit about touring with the Multistrada and the standard panniers and the top box. So, what are they like? They're actually pretty good. I don't have any complaints. You can get quite a lot of stuff in the left and right panniers. Obviously the right hand pannier has to be a little bit smaller in terms of storage space because the exhaust sits underneath it. You can get different sorts of internal luggage to match your panniers. I have the Ducati ones. I probably wish I'd have done something different and got non-Ducati ones, because what I have seen is you can get an inner case for the right hand side that's got a bit more space on the top. I'll take some pictures in a moment and show you. But the thing that I'd suggest you do is get the original top box. It's brilliant. I can get two full face, full size. Mine's a large, my wife's is a medium. We can get both helmets in there. No trouble whatsoever. And I find this top box, it might look a little big, but the cushioning for the passenger is really good, and this has helped transform the way we as a couple have interacted with motorbikes. So the seat's super comfortable for two up, and this extra bit of padding and comfort really is a welcome. So in terms of panniers, pretty straightforward. I would suggest you go for the original ones. There are lots of others, there's Givies and things that you can get, but in terms of aesthetics and the way they looked, I looked at other bikes, I looked online, I saw a couple in bike car parks, and I decided to go for these. Some people say that they're difficult to get on and off. I don't actually find any problems. They're straightforward, one key, lift the handle, and they just pop straight off. They're fairly easy. Stability wise, inside all the boxes is a label that says you're limited to 180 kilometers an hour or 110 miles per hour or thereabouts. I've been a bit more than that, and then they're absolutely fine. They don't create any strange weaving or vibrations, and they feel really secure. There's no waggling and moving around. The only thing you need to be aware of on the motorways is if you're behind traffic, especially big traffic, vans and lorries, they create a lot of turbulence, and that really upsets the bike with the panniers. And I think that's the same for pretty much all bikes with pannier kits on. So if a lorry pulls out 200 or 300 meters or 200 meters ahead, you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel a bit of movement with the bike. But in terms of clear air, obviously in Germany on the autobahns where there's not speed restrictions, you can really get up a pace and you can cover a lot of ground very quickly. It's a great place to be for two people. Now, just in case you aren't aware, there are two different sizes of pannier available for your Multistradas. So I'm going to put up some pictures. The first one you can see, this is my bike. This has the 58 litre panniers on. Now, the 58 litres refers to the total capacity divided between the two panniers. Move on to the next image. You can see this is a 2013 Gran Turismo, or what they call a GT, and from the side it's hard to tell the difference, but these are a much larger case. So onto the next image. This is looking at my bike from the rear. Again, just remember this is 58 litres. You can see the cutout on the right hand side where the box actually has quite a bit less usable space because there has to be a cutout for the exhaust. And the next image, now you can see a considerable difference. These are the 73 litre panniers, and they stick out a long way. At the top of the image you can see the top box, and you can see how much further these stick out. This is just to show you what the top box looks like. The top box is the same whether you have the GT, the S or the base. There's no extra bigger version available, and this is 48 litres and it's huge inside. The easy way to tell, on this image you can see a kind of it's almost like a carbon effect or a weave effect on the top of the panniers. Now this indicates that it's the GT or the Gran Turismo version, and it's the larger 73 litre. And this next image, this is quite interesting. This is the left-hand rear panel, or rear pannier from my bike. At the bottom of the image you can see the hinge. So the part to the right, in other words the part behind the indicator, this is the same part or the same moulding for both the 58 and the 73 litre panniers. It's the difference between the two types of pannier is the section on the left, and you can interchange them. So this might help if you're trying to do this on a budget and you can pick up some damaged cases and you've already got the smaller or the larger, you can interchange them. Okay, next screen, part numbers. So these are the part numbers for the standard 58 litre panniers. At the bottom you can see the part number for the inner bag. Now what Ducati did for the inner bag, it's the same part number for both the 58 and the 73 litre panniers. They have a zippable expandable section that makes them fit both bags. Next set of part numbers, these are for the top box. Again, as I just said earlier on, it's the same top box. It doesn't get any bigger or smaller. It's 48 litres and it carries quite a lot of space. There's an inner bag part number on there. Next page, this is for the part numbers. Now these part numbers, by the way, they're for the set. So the top one there, the 967 10C, that is the code for a set of panniers in red. And you've got the choice of red, silver, red, white, silver, or the gunmetal grey. And again, the part number for the inner bag. One oddball thing that's a bit of a negative, and I don't know why, I don't have an action camera yet, but I can't show you a video of what I'm about to explain. For some strange reason, in the pouring rain, my right foot gets absolutely soaked. No matter what I put on, I've got Gore-Tex boots, sports boots, my feet get wet, even through the Gore-Tex. And there's something about the setup on the right-hand side and those that bug spoiler down the bottom that channels water onto the right foot. So I would suggest some overboots. If you're going to go touring, don't chance your Gore-Tex boots. Once the leather or the imitation leather gets wet, you're going to get cold anyway. So I would buy some overboots, get some rubber ones. This is my solution to the wet right foot syndrome, which you get with the Multistrada. So as you can see from the screen, these are an ex-military Army and Navy surplus waterproof overboot. Just about every country has an Army and Navy surplus store. You can get them online, you can get them on eBay. I think new, they were 14 euros, and you can pick them up used from about 7 or 8 euros. They fit really well. They're not actually baggy and loose on your foot. As you can see from this image, they pack flat, which is great for putting them in the top box, so you've got very easy access. This is just to show you what they look like there. My normal riding boot is an Alpine Star SMX 5s, and they fit very well. The German sizing for the ex-military boots is slightly different to what you would imagine. These are a 285 to a 295 size, but every country is going to be different. Now, with going on tour, you can put up with being cold. You can put up with having wet, damp feet. But the one thing you absolutely can't have is wet, cold hands, because your hands are in charge of all of the controls: clutch, brake, steering, indicators, opening and closing your visor, operating your navigation system. So I always carry 2 pairs of gloves when I go on tour, and a pair of waterproof overgloves in case the rain really does come down. Okay, next one, you've seen this in all of my videos pretty much, and that's the SW Motec tank bag. I find this a great size. This is the Evo Engage. I'll put a part number on the screen. It's a fairly small one, but it's enough for me to get a disc lock when we park, phone, change of gloves. It's for me the perfect size. I do use a Garmin Navi for all my navigation and route planning, but I'm kind of old school. I like to have a map, and this is made by SW Motec. It's a map pocket which mounts on top of the Evo Engage. It just clips in and velcros on. I also keep phone numbers of the places we're staying in the evening, because inevitably we're late on our tours, and normally me or somebody has to ring and say we're going to be late. So a map pocket I find really useful. So this really is the last recommendation for touring on your Multistrada, and that is to keep a socket for taking your rear wheel off. The rear wheel nut is a 55mm 12 point, and sometimes they can be really, really hard to get off. And quite often, if you're on tour and you're in one of the smaller towns or cities and you can't do a puncture repair on the side of the road and you have to replace the tyre, a lot of garages don't carry this socket. It's a very specialised socket. This particular one is an impact socket. So you can use it with air tools, air guns and impact wrenches. You have to be really careful. Online there are a lot of imitation ones made in China. They look very similar, but they're nowhere near the right quality. And if you start to round off the nut on your rear wheel, you'll have even more trouble getting the nut off. So my recommendation for this one thing, buy a proper one, spend the money. I'll put a link and some part numbers up on the screen. The ones that come from China, they look almost similar. They've got a lot better with their copies, but you can see a shine on the metal finish, which indicates that they're made from an alloy, if not completely from aluminium. The real way that you can tell whether you've got a proper impact socket is to weigh it. They're going to be 400 to 500, up to half a kilo. The aluminium ones weigh half that. I think they're about 145, 165 grams. And if you use them, you might get away with using one once, but if they start to round off and they take the corners off of the nut on the back of your bike, you're going to have real problems because that rear nut has to go on really tight. But other than that, in the rain, it's actually pretty good. It's a nice place to be with your heated grips, your seat, as I explained in the video too, which is all about comfort, the seat doesn't get soaking wet, the water drains out through this material, this outer material very quickly, and it's a comfortable place to be. And the panniers are great, they're easy to get on and off, and the top box I find really good. When I go on tour and it's just me, I pack both bags and I leave the top box pretty much empty. All that lives in there are a change of gloves, waterproof, a towel if I get wet, and I put my helmet in the box when we stop. There's nothing worse than trying to negotiate petrol stations, car parks, places to eat when you've got to take your helmet off and then you end up walking around carrying all your kit with you. It might not look so pretty, but fit your top box, get rid of all the stress when you stop, gloves off, helmet off, top box. And your whole experience is quite a bit different. So I hope that helps. It's just a short one. Right foot in the rain, really strange, gets absolutely soaking. So you need over boots if you're going to go on the 1200 touring in the wet. Okay, see you soon.